Hey, how's it going guys? My name's Daniel, aka HashLips, and today I'm going to show you how you can create this AI film yourself. Everything you saw was made by AI prompts and a mixture of images and image to video creation via Runwayml. Now, all the tools I'm going to be showing, I do have paid subscriptions for. You can do this with somewhat free subscriptions, I guess, using lower models, but I'm going to use the best of the best just to show you what's possible. I do have to add though that it can get expensive, especially if you're like me and you keep on prompting and run out of tokens. But you can add some extra tokens, of course. Now, I am not promoting Runwayml at all. I just saw this from another person's YouTube video recommending this to create videos. And seeing that I have an educational channel, I wanted to create these videos for my educational channel, right? And to illustrate some stuff. And I thought, let me try it out. And as I was busy doing that, I just got an idea to make a film and test it out truly before I use it for my content on my channel. So after discovering how powerful it is and the methods I used, I want to show you it. And hopefully you can create some awesome stuff yourself. So let's get into it. Essentially, Runwayml came out with a new model called the Gen 3 Alpha. You can see it as big as I can. Now, before we go ahead and just click on this and start generating, if you go ahead and just generate with your prompts, you are going to get quite good results, but not something that maybe might apply to your storyline. You see, they've made it possible for you to provide a source image so that it can use that as reference and then animate it. For our story or for our purpose, we would need to start with an image. If you are deciding to make a short film, you will need to storyboard it. Think of all the shots that you'll need. For example, you might need an intro shot. You might need a close-up, a zoom out. You know, maybe you have two characters that needs to have a conversation. So you need to kind of plan that out and then follow the steps that I'm going to show you. So I'm going to show you how to complete one shot, and you can replicate this method and finish all your shots. Now, like I said, we need an image to start off, our shot that we are going to create. Now, you can use Runwayml for this step as well, because Runway does provide a text to image model. You can then take that image and use that as your source. You can really do this step in any different AI model that you want to use. For example, you can use Midjourney, DALL-E. I like using Bing AI to create the images, and this will just be a seed image. I need something that is going to give me that feel of the shot that I need. Okay, we on Bing.com now. It's actually called Copilot Designer. However, this is an amazing tool. Just always be cautious when you're using these tools for commercial purposes, because you need to understand the licenses, right? So choose a tool that will work for your purpose. Now, I cut off the top because my name is there, but we should think of a scene. I think I have an idea. So I said, depict in a hyper-realistic style, two dragons fighting in the sky, one red and the other green. Almost like the stock market right now. So let's go ahead and create. This is our first generation, and as you can see, it looks kind of cool, but I really would prefer it to be a bit more realistic. Maybe we get a better result. Okay, I really like this. Now, I especially like this one over here the most. It's because you can see that there's some lighting coming through the wings of these dragons. And you can also see some sun shining through, and it's an epic scene. I think we should go with this one. Now that we have our beautiful dragon image, we can now actually start already to create our video just by going and clicking on Get Started. This will bring us to the image text to video prompt experience using Gen 3 Alpha. Make sure you're on that. But here you can see I can drag and drop in an image and then also write a prompt with it. Now there's many different filters you can do and custom presets. But look, I mean, I'm going to show you the basics and you can go ahead and play with it. Now, before I just go ahead and drag in these dragons over here, I can go ahead and do that. But firstly, that's going to give me a very low res, low quality video because it's so squashed, right? Its image ratio is basically a square and it's very small. So I want a way to expand it. And this is where I used Photoshop to do it. So let me quickly do that in Photoshop and then bring it in here. And then we can go ahead and try this all out. There's our dragons. This is an optional step. You do not need to do this. However, if you want to do this, I made the aspect ratio of my canvas the same as what I would like the video to be so that it's consistent, because what Runwayml will literally do is take the composition of your shot and animate it somewhat. You can even specify a beginning or ending of a shot. For me, usually what I'll do is I'll edit the image a little bit. With Photoshop, again, this is a paid tool. So in order to use this, what I'm going to be using, you need the latest version of Photoshop for it to use the generative tool that I'm going to show you. So for the composition, I like the fact that the dragons are quite big. I am going to make it a tiny bit smaller, mainly because we're going to get a better resolution. I'm just going to shrink it down a tiny bit, and here comes the magic. With the new Photoshop, if you go ahead and click on the selection tool, I'm now going to click, drag and select this top area over here. This will bring up this toolbar that says generate fill, and I'm just going to click on it without any prompt and just click generate. I'm going to wait for it to fill in the space, and this really works so well. Photoshop's generative tool is really smart. If I do it this way by selecting segments, you can see already there at the top how beautiful those clouds are. But by selecting small chunks of the canvas that I want to expand, and it's important for you to also overlap the selection with the source so that it knows where to expand into. So here you can see it started making the clouds, but I do not like this orange piece down there. All that I need to do is select that part, and there's these little arrows that I can click, and I can kind of go through the ones that I do like. I do like that one. That fits quite well. I'm happy. Now I continue. Grab this part and fill it up. These days, guys, the models that's out there is just absolutely mind-boggling. I'm sitting here and using these tools, and I just still cannot get over the fact that we are able to use tools like this. Can you just imagine where these technologies will be in the next 5 years? It's just amazing. Let's move on to the green dragon. Select this, generate fill, and here we go. Now, I say this with confidence, saying that we're going to make a shot. And I've tried Runwayml. They are good with their generations, but it did take me a few tries to get some of the shots correct. It cost me quite a bit because every time I had to generate so it looks good. So I hope they sponsor me at some point so I can keep on using their tool. Otherwise, I'll just pay because it is worth it. All right, so here we go. That is absolutely stunning, by the way. Now we can finally go back to Runwayml, and I can finally drag in my expanded generative art piece in here. Now, like I said, this is going to give us the right aspect ratio and also a lot more detail for the program to work with, right? For the models to kind of figure out what we want to do. And also, as you can see, as we dragged in the photo, there's these tabs, which is first and last. If you leave this on first, this is where it will start off and then animate. If you select last, it means that this is where the animation is going to end up as. And I'm going to leave it there because I don't know how it's going to handle them fighting, but we'll try both. However, next is for us to type a description of the shot. Now, Runwayml does have a guide, and they suggest to basically start off with some camera movement. So as you can see here, we define camera movement, then establish the scene, and then any additional data or details, right, in this format. But now we can go back and I can just paste this in, and we can start filling in this sequence the events that we want to take place. So here's my attempt. The camera slowly zooms in, revealing two colossal dragons locked in a fierce battle. Flames erupt from their mouths, illuminating the dark surroundings with a fiery glow. Now we're going to see if this will generate. So I'm just going to hit generate. And actually, for the sake of the video, I'm going to do 2 generations, so it queues them at 5 seconds. The 10 seconds is very cool, but it does take a lot of credits. As you can see, the credits just went down by almost like 100, I think. We can see it's at 8:45, and we'll see how much this is going to take as we generate. However, I'm going to do this for this description. Now, I've got a feeling that it's not going to do a great job. And it's not that, I just feel that the description is not good. It's just since I've made this video and my experience is that for some reason, the less I say and leave more interpretation to the model, the better it does. It's almost like I can explain something and it gives me average results. But if I just leave it to itself, maybe just describe the camera or what the camera should do a lot better. So we're going to see how that ends up working. Okay, so as we can see, there's our first shot. Although the likeliness is there, you can see there's going to be some zoom happening. They do have fire, although some of the fire is not coming through the mouth. It's kind of behind the mouth. But you can see that these are the same dragons, just maybe in a bit more cartoony vibe. This is also done. I guess this one is just darker. Before we play them, I also want to generate the other way that I said, and then we're going to see all the results. Anyway, this is my second attempt, and this is all I'm going to say is the camera follows. For some reason, this gave me the best results the previous times. So I'm just going to hit generate twice over there as well. And we might try something else too. One thing that I want to try now that these two are in queue, I'm going to switch this to the first one and then click twice as well for this being the first frame. And then we also need to do this for this generation. So I'm going to click there, switch this to the first frame and generate. Let's go and check them out. So remember, this is the prompt that we used. I'm just going to click on this where we set the bigger description basically. So here we go. Let's go ahead and play this. Okay, not the best. It almost looks like the whole sky is literally filling with fire. Now, I'm not going to open this up big. If we get a good one, I'll expand the screen. Let's first find a good looking one. Here's the second prompt. Honestly, not bad. I mean, if this was some kind of logo intro, then it could work, right? And we also have to be cognizant of the fact that these are AI models, right? We cannot expect them to be absolutely perfect, but I know this program can do amazing stuff. You saw the video right in the beginning. So we are looking for that. So let me go and try this one where I just simply said camera follows, right? Let's play this one. I mean, it's a lot better than the previous ones, right? Previous ones were very 2D. This one at least, has some wing movement. Here we go. Here's the dragons. That's looking a bit weird. It almost looks like they have reflection coming from the sky. But mind you, this one actually, is animating a lot more and a lot more accurately. So if I just slow this down, we can see here at the very end. Oh, it looks like it was their tails. You see how the tails are kind of flowing through these clouds? If it wasn't for this first part, then this would have looked very cool. So I'm going to continue. Okay, so this one we actually get the wings. Both sides of the wings are moving. They're flapping. The dragons are quite static. But we do get this fog coming up from the clouds, which is beautiful. I mean, this is really beautiful, the clouds and the fog coming up from it. I would like the dragons to animate more, but provided I just said camera follows. So we're going to try different prompts. What you are about to see is me trying to make these dragons fight. I think I could have done a lot better on prompting, so I also made this separate video where I wrote a whole new prompt. And from all of these examples, you can see the results kind of ended in a similar fashion. I couldn't get these dragons to fully fight, although it's a lot better than it was. I think with a lot more experimentation, I think I can get that right. And so I wanted to add this in the video as well, because I did get some cool results in some cases. Now, it all depends on what you are looking for, but as you can see, I got very close to these dragons actually maybe fighting one another, right? Sometimes the flames would just come out in wrong areas, and I think you can fix that via the prompt. So I just wanted to say that I'm going to leave this in the video so that you can also see the kind of experience that you would have. I mean, these shots are absolutely amazing. Of course, you will never get exactly what you need without proper prompting. But I must say that these results are a lot better in the video that I recorded before, but I want you to see them anyways. All right, so just a side note, enjoy the rest of the video. Now we're going to try camera handout follows and zooms in. I know this grammatically doesn't make sense, I guess, but then dragons locked in a fierce battle. Let's try this. I'm going to do 5 seconds. I'm also going to kick off a 10-second generation. I'm going to flip to the last one, do a 10-second there, as well as a 5-second. Okay, so we got a few of these coming now. The reason why I set this specific movement is because in my previous project, let me just show you, here it is, I set the exact same thing. And just to make sure, and I see we're running out of credits, just to make sure I can show you kind of the power of this, this is my shot, right? This is an AI generated shot like I did and expanded it. And I just said camera handheld follows. And so I'm going to generate one here as well, and maybe we'll keep it on last. Let's do 2 generations, just so that you can see kind of what I've been experimenting with and actual good results, right? Maybe the dragons are two-dimensional in a way. Maybe the depth of field helps the AI understand more where subjects can move towards. I have no idea. I just want to try and show you how you can do this yourself. So I want to play until we get a good result. Now you can see here's kind of this movie that I've built up and showed you in the beginning. And I got some amazing results, right? And I only ended up using a few shots. For example, this shot over here is this shot, right? And you can see how it kind of comes out of the shadows, and it just did all of this. And that is amazing. That's what I want to show. So I also want to show kind of the full experience, because I don't want you to go away and feel like you're not getting the same results. So here's our 2 new generations. Let's check it out. I'm going to select the first one. It's buffering a little bit, so there we go. Wow. Absolutely amazing. If I did this before, I would have rather used this shot in the video. Now you see what I mean? I just said camera handheld follows, and this is the result we get. So you see how my mind is just blown, and I think it maybe has to do with depth. Let's try the last one we generated here. And again, this one's even more beautiful. This is stunning. This is stunning. This is absolutely amazing. But now let's go and check out dragons. How are they doing? So I see that we do have our 4 generations. Oh, it's not looking so good for the dragons. But let's go ahead and try it out. So this is the first one. Ooh, okay. Something's happening. You know what? I like the fact that the depth of the clouds are there. It's zooming in, and you can definitely use this for a cinematic shot portraying the dragons, you know, fighting. And they're even fighting above a little city down there. Do you see this little city? I think it is. But I think this is our best shot so far, at least. Here's another one. Okay. All right. Hey, the dragons are moving. You know what? I feel like it's definitely improving right now. So we can already see with this shot right now, we've got fire coming. You know, it starts off as smoke and kind of engulfs as these flames. You even see it here in the foreground. And as we zoom in, we can see movement in both dragons, a bit more in the green one as the arm comes down, but we can see movement. Okay, so it is improving. I do not know what's happening here, but I'm going to play it for the best. It's kind of creative, starts off quite far. Okay, these dragons are moving. Yo, check out that last shot. Whoa. Okay. You know, and just check out this last piece. Like, boom. Like, it's almost like it livens up there at the end. You're not going to get stuff perfect every single time, but it's getting better. So far for me, it's definitely from the dragons. It's definitely this. It's definitely this. You know, if you show this in some kind of anime short clip explaining that two dragons were fighting in the sky, definitely can be in an animation. Is it going to be the exact realistic style that we want? No, but I also think it's maybe partly due to the style of our dragons. And also, we have to think about the databases on dragons. You know, maybe there's more data on humans and not so much on dragons, maybe because they are mythical creatures. Okay, so let's check these two. Dragons don't start off looking like dragons, but this is awesome, guys. This is awesome. So so yeah. So yeah, they are fighting. Well, they are about to attack one another. They kind of look like Pokemon coming from Pokemon bowls as they come towards one another. But I must say that this, especially there at the end, right? It's like they are ready to engage. This is absolutely the best shot then by far. Even though the dragons look a bit wonky in the beginning, you know, it's cool because the emotion is there, the action is there, the intent is there, the zoom is there. You can see the fog. Just have a look here where the fog and the light comes through the clouds. For AI to even do this is just, it boggles my mind. So I do not want to judge the content as hard as I actually am because we need to realize that it's just absolutely phenomenal. Now, I love this shot. It's very cool. I think it's maybe the winner of the day um, by far, coincidentally, our last generation. But I also want to just go over some of the generations that I did previously. So looking at the video that I've made that you've seen in the beginning of this video, we can look at some of the bloopers that I had. For example, here I had meteorites falling on the sky. And also just keep in mind, I think I misspelled a lot of stuff and maybe didn't know what to generate. There's a big explosion, you know. But I felt like by the fourth one, I kind of got some good results. And this was the one that I ended up using. You know, it's almost like the meteorites are hitting the atmosphere and it's just exploding on impact. I love this shot and I think it's very good. This one, which I just said very slow pan of this guy, actually, I got it the first time. I just want a guy looking up in his bed that looks apocalyptic. And as you can see, his hand's even moving. And the fact that the hand is moving and it looks so natural and there's no bending or weird fingers that's being added, I think it's getting really good AI and the models. So there's a few more meteorite scenes. And when I saw this, I just got so excited. I mean, just look at the quality of this face. You know, look at, if we just pause here in the beginning, and it can go even more in detail because I've seen one of the shots, but just observe this for 1 second and just appreciate this is generated. It never existed. It's just based on models and algorithms. And it looks so amazing. It looks so real, right? I think it's really phenomenal, this tool. So I know we put it through its paces and kind of judged it a little bit as well, but that's just part of the fun. But reality is the program is really just amazing, absolutely amazing. We can have a look at this person walking in the street as well. You have to appreciate, I mean, there's some weight there, right? Not fully. There's some areas where it still kind of dips and almost looks like it's going through the road, but for the most part, you can feel the weight, you can feel the movement. You can even see in the hoodie up here how the material interacts. So I think extremely well done there. This is one of my favorite shots. Of course, I used it in the scene of the film, and here we can see that, as the person's walking, just looking. Now, some of the server components in the room, of course, is just changing because I just think there's too many lights and things. I don't know why it cannot keep track of it fully, but you'll get that with AI, these artifacts. The fact is, you can see the wires over there from afar, and it keeps track of the wires. The lighting is blowing me away. Again, with the material movement, you can see there's a human figure inside of this hoodie, right? With previous generations of AI, these hoodies just looked empty. Now you can actually see mass in there. Crazy cool. So there was a few cool ones as well, mainly like this. I couldn't use these shots because I just realized there's a lot of people with yellow hoodies in the screen right now. Anyway, what I wanted to say is this shot's actually very good. Like there's so much movement, right? So much movement. And so if we look at the photo that I gave it, I just gave it this shot of a face. And AI decided to literally make this guy run through the room and then end up back on his face. Now, there are some areas where the character does look a tiny bit animated. I don't think we are very far away from AI being fully used in films, because look at that. It doesn't look like a made up character. In some areas, maybe, but no. I would fully watch a film and think this is a person that exists. So I just cannot stop getting excited about this. What an amazing time to live and experience this. And with that, it brings us to the end of this video. Please leave a like and a comment below to tell me what you think of this video, and also if you're going to try these tools out. I really think all creative people should start creating with AI a bit more, or find ways of using AI in your profession, right? These tools are there to make our lives easier, and I'm certainly going to use these creative tools for making my educational content to zoop it up a bit, and also to create content that I really have a vision for and hopefully can teach a lot more people that way. But that being said, I hope you can have some fun with this, and I hope you learned some few things. And I also am glad that you saw that it's not always just perfect. You are going to run through a lot of retries and tries. Work on those prompts. As you can see, I did not try the best prompts, and I just feel like some of these shorter prompts gave me a lot better results. So I stuck with them, and it gave me exactly what I needed, specifically because I started off with a good image. If you start off with a good image, you're going to get good results. That's what I found from using this software. Have a great day. Cheers for now, and see you next time.